This month, we visit Valencia city and contemplate the August starry night from the Palace of Art's Reina Sofía, the impossible visión, a dream, and the illusion for all amateur astronomers. Summer nights in the Northern Hemisphere allow to observe constellations that seemingly closest to the central bulge of our galaxy. That is, because the number of deep sky objects in a field of view of our telescopes is fabulous, ensuring a very pleasant observation in your summer nights. With some of these cosmic wonders, focus our observations. One of these constellations is Scorpius. The asterism is one of the easiest to recognize, by the beautiful sky distribution of stars. Antares, the brightest star in this constellation, is defined as the opposite of Antares or Mars, because both competes in brightness when the red planet Mars are in conjunction. Although the star, 850 times larger than the Sun, and located 30 million times farther away than Mars, yet brighter than the planet itself. Antares has a smaller companion, with high magnification telescope, shows a green color, in visual contrast with the red of the main star, but actually it is a blue star type B. This bright star helps us to locate Scorpio over the south horizon. Towards the southern area, we can admire his twisted thorn drawn by Saga Sanshala stars, and above, Acrob, Shubba and Pi Scorpii stars drawn animaless tongues. Halfway between Antares and Acrob, Alpha and Beta stars of Scorpio, the globular cluster M80 is located, visible with small telescopes. The clash that occurred, ago 36,000 years, between two of the 50,000 stars that compose it, maybe could cause the nova discovered in 1860, in Königsberg Observatory, and was referred as T Scorpii. Just 1 degree away from Antares, we can see the globular cluster M4, just located 4,000 light-years away, making us to see huge, compared to the previous cluster. With medium aperture telescopes, we can determine many of its components, due to the low stellar density of this beautiful agglomeration. Also appreciate a stunning central band of stars that seems part the cluster into two. Now, as reference, the star Shaula, by only 20 minutes of arc, appear in the eyepiece of fuzzy star, which increases with the use of will show the nebula NGC 6302, also called the Bug Nebula. This observation is a challenge for stargazers and requires a very dark night. Our eyes may never get to see the spectacular image offered by the Hubble Space Telescope. Additionally, nearby Shaula, we can locate the known Ptolemy cluster, also M7, visible to the naked eye. M7 is an open cluster of blue stars, born 1,000 light-years ago. Some have left through the telescope. If we go through the entire area covered by its huge field of view. 5 degrees of distance to the north of the star Shaula, we can see M6 cluster, known as the butterfly cluster. This open cluster has more than 100 stars, is visible with binoculars, but the telescope can recognize, hopefully, a brighter star, the variable supergiant BM Scorpius, which is the orange star that stands out among the others. Really, this old sun does not belong to this group full of young blue stars. Shudder to know that we are looking in the direction of the center of our galaxy, where there is a black hole, with the mass of millions of suns like ours, when we direct our vision toward the constellation of Sagittarius, the Archer. Its known asterism-shaped teapot will help to locate the most significant deep sky objects in this area of the sky. It is advisable to walk around this area through our binoculars. This way we can picture the immense amount of star clusters and nebulae that make up the galaxy arms. Halfway between supergiant stars Mu and 3 Sagittarius lies M8, the open star cluster associated with a nebula. It is visible with binoculars, but you can see a spectacular view of the famous Lagoon Nebula, with a small telescope and the use of appropriate nebula filters, unfortunately sacrifice the brightness of the star cluster. Even today, continue to sprout stars among the massive gas concentration of nebula, lies more than 5,000 light-years away. Just 2 degrees northwest of the Lagoon Nebula lies one of the most beautiful objects in the sky, M20, the Trifid Nebula. Small telescopes will give us a sad blur of this wonder, but if we have occasion to observe through a larger aperture mirror telescope, equipped with special filters, we can glimpse some of the dark crevices that give the name to the nebula. However, we will compensate us with the observation of the bright globular cluster, M22. Drawing an imaginary line between the star's Taurus and Nunci Sagittarius, then we'll extend up twice to the large body of Sagittarius. It is visible with binoculars. This cluster makes the familiar tingling sensation that we provide the best globulars when be seen through telescopes. 500,000 stars and compact distribution, shown a beauty that rivals with the famous cluster M13. Gamma star of Shield constellation, a Mu Sagittarius star. Draw a line in the sky that will guide us to locate to M17, a third of the way from the first, the Omega Nebula or the Swan Nebula. Brightness and size make it visible with binoculars. However, his view through telescopes leave us amazed, and even more knowing that there, 5,500 light-years away, stars are being born right now. Irregular shapes and soft strands remind us to the known Orion Nebula. Watching the stillness of the sky over your head, and discover the motion of the earth under your feet.